is up, y'all? There's Sabrina. It wouldn't let me click her in for a minute, but what is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of the Ring show. You already know you have your host,
Sabrina, and you have your host,
Harley. And guys, just a fair warning, it is Monday morning. Sabrina's not a morning person. She's not a Monday person. So
I also got off of work at 7, so
if she's not as talkative, it's fine. She'll be better tonight, hopefully. Once she has her coffee, because she didn't have her coffee quite yet. So
man.
No, it'll be fine once our guest gets here.
He's not even here yet.
No. I sent him the link, so let's hope. He said he's hopping on in 1 second, but that was 2 minutes ago, so hurry up, my friend.
1 second.
It's been 1 second.
It's been a minute.
But no, Sabrina, on your day off, what do you got planned today?
Nothing. Honestly. Nothing. I am literally chilling. I have some homework I have to do for school that I just was looking at before our podcast, so I'll do that later because that's not really on the top of my list, but
we'll get it done at some point.
I mean, it's done. I just don't want. I need to hit send. How about you? What do you have planned?
I got not a surprise, but I got something planned, so I'll show it later, which I'm super excited about.
Hates surprises. We all should just.
Sabrina hates surprises, guys, but you'll see it later. And we have Keikoa coming back on tonight at 9 o'clock, so hopefully that'll be fun.
I don't know what to expect from because it's nice to have him on again because he's our second time guest technically.
Yeah. So he's gonna be talking about the new gym. So
now you just spoiled it. No,
we don't know what he's gonna say about it.
That's true. I think that's true. Did we pull the raffle winner yet?
Yeah, we did, and I already sent her a message, so she's good. We got it. Hopefully, I think once we get to 100 subscribers or a year of us doing it, we'll probably do a better one, a bigger one, because we got time though. But
yeah, that's not till end of the year. I'm not trying to rush that one because then that means the cold weather's coming back, and
that's true. But it means a year of us doing this fabulous thing together. So, but it's fine.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's been a lot, and for May we got a whole bunch of episodes. People from Connecticut, Rhode Island, so it'll be fun. But Sabrina, do you want to do it today? And then
is he here? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Today we have our Manbun Jesus, guys. Okay. Oh God.
What is
Hello.
Up?
What's going on, guys? What's going on? I got the belt here live in studio here for you guys. Had a little problem checking into this thing, even though you told me I got to put my name in. I sat there for 5 minutes figuring out. Oh, MBJ's got to put his name in this thing, but we're here. The champ is here. Your women's champion of the great women's wrestling, Manbun Jesus, baby. Hallelujah.
That's different but cool. Okay.
What do you mean different but cool? The women part or
the belt? The belt is I haven't seen a belt that looks like that.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, right? This company, I don't know what was up with their deal, but I'll put it up for the camera. If you take a quick look at this really close, this belt is actually the women's reproductive system for you ladies, right? You got the two, I don't know the words, right? But I think these things are ovaries. You got fallopian tubes in the whole nine. But take my word for it. Take my word for it. I swear, everybody, I said it one time at a show, and they all stood around, they all looked at it, and they said, what's up with this belt? This belt really is the reproductiveness of women. And we got the cat right here, Miss Penny.
So cute.
She loves jumping in. She is an actual star of all this. Whenever we make content, Miss Penny will jump in and let it be known.
There you go. So we usually start with who or what got you into wrestling.
Oh, geez. Who or what? I mean, I grew up watching wrestling. I loved me some of that rated R superstar edge. That bad boy is what got me to be like, oh, I want to grow up and do that one day. But the first thing I ever saw in wrestling, we got to go all the way back to 2005. Now, this was the SmackDown after Randy Orton burned The Undertaker in that casket, right? So we had that, it was like a funeral for The Undertaker. He's laying in there. He's opening his eyes. And that was the first thing I ever saw. My dad was watching wrestling. I came out into the living room and I saw that. So the Undertaker in the casket. I see Randy. I see them playing the promo package of fire and a casket and the whole 9 yards. I see the Undertaker opening his eyes, and that was the magic, I think, that really pulled me in. It was more than just the wrestling. It was the drama, the soap opera of men, if you would like to call it, as they like to say, as I was growing up. But I think that's really what caught me was the drama of it, and watching it in that era. I feel like that ruthless aggression era. That is, I will go back and watch it, and I will preach to the high heavens that is the golden era of pro wrestling. And that really was some character, that was some drama stuff, and that's really what got me into it.
No, yeah, definitely. So, and like with that's like the storyline that drives you. It's not just the wrestling itself, but like the storyline and like how it goes and like that whole thing.
Well, the storyline, I think, is like the cooler part. Then I feel like everyone can wrestle. I don't think it's hard, that part. You know what I mean? Like doing the moves and all that shit. But being able to like bring people in and like make people feel and tell a story that goes on longer than 5 minutes, I feel like that's the important part, especially that's missing on the indies, because everybody wants to get their stuff in within the 8 minutes.
Definitely, yeah.
You don't got to get your stuff in 8 minutes. I do like 3 moves out there and I shake my butt and I go home. And I come back the next month and we continue doing what we did the last month, because I don't got to get all my stuff in. I'm coming back.
Exactly.
If people want to get all the stuff in, because they know they're not going to come back.
Yeah, we say that a lot of independent companies like don't do the storylines, but there are some that like they battle on social media, like they have like their different promo videos like leading up to this match. And I think that's what makes me very excited for the match, is like the storyline that's like, oh, this one's talking shit, this one's talking shit. They get to the match and then they settle that debate. So
time to go.
Time to go.
I think one of my favorite stories I told was had to be like the last year. We did this thing where we started in March, where I was supposed to get surgery. I have a hernia in my chest. I was supposed to get taken care of. Never got it taken care of, but I was supposed to. So they take me out story-wise. We do a big move. Got like 4.5 million views on Instagram before the company's Instagram got taken down. But we do that, right? All these months later, I start going after this guy's group. I take this guy's group out, 1, 2, 3. Now I got a title match with the guy. We do our title match. He goes over, and now it's time to do the big blow off. And the big blow off was, we do big promo. You're going to leave the guys in the back. We're going to get you one-on-one, me and you, in a casket match. So we did a casket match, and that shit was awesome. We went and we found like a real deal casket. This wasn't something that like you bought off of Home Depot or something. This was like the real deal. I still have this thing in my garage, and I'm pretty sure they put dead people in there, but we still got that casket. We did the casket match, and it ended up being the best match I have done in the past like almost 6.5 years I've been doing this shit, which was a shocker to me. It was just the whole build up, the whole thing. And then the biggest thing of the day is that week I had like the worst week of my life that week. My grandma, who was one of the people who raised me, she was like my mother. She was passing away that week. She was having a rough time going home, as you would say. It took her a couple days to get there, and her final day was the day of that casket match. So in the morning she passed in my arms in the morning, and then nighttime I had to go do this match, and there was no way I was able to get my head in this match. But that ding ding ding, the way those people, because they wanted it, because they knew the story that's been being told since March, and they were ready for that shit. And they didn't know what was going on with me in real life, but they were ready for that shit. And the way that those people came into it when that bell rang, that got me through it, I think. And like it was the crowd that made that match. I feel like, not that like my head was in it once I had them, but I needed to have them to get my head in it, because I was having such a crazy week, and we were telling the story for so many months, But it came to the point when that match was over, it was the greatest story I've ever told in all this time. And I thought that was like, I cried afterwards. I was like, wow, like we did this, and like I can't believe that with the day, like it still was accomplished. The job was done. And that was just that whole match, that whole story is probably like my favorite thing I've done. So
yeah, I feel like the crowd can definitely make or break a match too. Like if the crowd's not into it, like how are you guys gonna get into it? Because you're like, well, the crowd really doesn't care, so what's gonna happen now?
Exactly. I've done so many matches like in these places that it's like, you get screwed and you only got like a couple of people out there. You got like 12, a crowd of 12, you got something like that. But and like that's hard to get into it. It's hard to really bring those 12 people in, but you still got to give 100% when you got like I did a match. It was like my first hardcore match. It was in front of like 12 people because I was like the main event. So I'm not gonna not, we had like artists making all this crazy stuff, and I guess they just didn't promote the show right. So we had like all this crazy art that we were gonna be breaking and all this stuff, and we had 12 people out there, and I went full boogie for those 12 people because it doesn't matter if it's 12 or 1200. You go full boogie for whoever's sitting there.
No, yeah.
Full boogie. He really. Sorry, my brain is processing that right now. Okay.
Facts. Manbun Jesus is out there. Let me tell you, it might take a second for the wheels to start turning in your head.
No, yeah, and like you said about the hardcore matches, do you prefer those matches over like the plain regular ones, or do you prefer to be in like the crazy ones?
I like the plain kind of things, like your regular kind of match. I've only really done a couple of those stipulation matches. Like I've done like probably 2 hardcore matches. I've done like 2 no rings. I've done the casket. I did like a lumberjack, and I think that's about it. That's about it for your boy. But I like the normal kind of wrestling match. I feel like it's easier to tell a story. The hardcore stuff, like those guys know what they're doing. It's a different kind of art of the same art, I would say, a different kind of niche of it. And they're good at that. I don't think I'm the best at the hardcore stuff. I think it's good for me when I have somebody in there who can lead me through it. But I do enjoy doing that. I do like the tables and the chairs and the dumb stuff. I think that stuff is fun.
No, yeah. So like we're talking about all your matches, but who actually trained you?
So I was trained at NYWC by Bull James, and I also had Tony Nese there for like the first 5 months of my training before. He was training us for a little bit, but we knew that he was going to do Cruiserweight Classic that summer. So that summer was crazy because we had they were doing that show for Mick Foley's daughter at the training place, the Holy Foley show. And then we had Nese going to do the Cruiserweight Classic at like the same summer. So we had him for 5 months. He went and he did that. He came back for a couple more months, and then he got signed. And he ended up doing his thing. And we ended up, we still had Bull, thank God. And Bull was very good with being able to get us to that level of more of just like not really the moves per se, but like being able to click, putting a whole match together and like making sure that like things made sense, like the important part of wrestling. Like we had him there for that shit, and like that was very good. And now I think Mike Mondo is a trainer there now, so they're in good hands, those kiddos.
No, yeah, definitely. So like I have to ask because at BPW came out with the pandas. How did that become a thing?
Oh geez, so we were figuring out like changing gimmicks, right? We had this group of guys, they were called the Benson Bros. They were like these surfer stoners. And then you had Manbun Jesus, who was also this like stoner Jesus loving guy. So you took the two, and this is where my character kind of like exploded into what it is. And we were figuring out like what are we gonna do to be different? Like we wanted to be like, you got all these different kind of psychedelic artists like in bands and art and all this kind of stuff. Like we wanted to be that of pro wrestling. We were trying to figure out what's gonna make these people like what's gonna make their heads turn. If someone's sitting in the crowd and they had a little too much to drink, what's gonna make them look at us and go, "Whoa, what the fuck is that?" And that was the Groovy Grizzly. So I had a panda head, and I had a like pajama suit kind of deal. So I had the pajama suit, and I wanted to put it on somebody. I wanted to like put a blunt in their mouth and glasses, and just have them walk around. And the place were like, no, we got to put like a head on this person. And I was like, well, I got a panda head. We can like paint it or something. So we spent all night long. We painted this panda head. We painted this panda head. Next day we show up, and now it's the debut of this character, of this panda thing. We're figuring out, we don't even know what we're gonna call this thing. There was this guy in the back, and he said, you should call this thing the Groovy Grizzly. And I said, whoa, that's a good name. I'll take that name. I'm gonna steal that name. So we took that name, the Groovy Grizzly. We would go out there. We had like 6 confetti cannons. We're blasting off confetti cannons. Now you got the bear. There's the bear's debut. We have the Groovy Grizzly comes out. He's doing all these crazy things. did a moonsault onto Matt Stryker, all this other crazy shit, fucking confetti cannon in his face. And we ended up, you know, the motherfucker got over that night. We kept doing it. And the bear ended up being the most over part. That's what we wanted. The bear ended up being the most over part of the performance. So as we kept going, and then it ended up trickling down, and it just became me. So we just had the one bear. We ended up getting two. The Groovy Grizzly gave birth. We had this big show. MBJ needed some help. Groovy Grizzly, excuse me, gave birth to twins. So we got two more. And at this last year's big Long Island show deal we did, we had two more of them come out. So now we got 5 Groovy Grizzlies in total. I know one gave birth to twins. The other two, I don't know where they freaking came from. So we got 5 of them in total. I'll tell you that.
Oh my gosh, Sabrina's face is like, what? They gave birth?
My brain this morning is like a lot because I worked this till 7. We were just saying on the podcast, and so I got like an hour of sleep. So like my brain right now is like, oh, like I feel like I'm high, not high.
You're getting melted by the 5th dimension right now.
How I feel, no. But so like in wrestling, oh god, in wrestling, what do you think is like the best part about coming out and seeing the crowd?
I love my entrance every time. Like that's my favorite part of doing the thing. It's like, especially when you come out and like they know you, and like is it got to the point that's like they send you out there and they're like make noise, especially if you're a fucking baby face. They're like make noise, they'll cheer for you. But like now I'm at the point that like I can go out there and I just like, you know, I do the pout face, you know, and like I don't gotta make noise, and like they make the noise for me. And my favorite part is the entrance. My entrance songs are always crazy. I love coming out to crazy music, and you know, it's like I want my entrance to be like a rock concert. I want it to be like, you know, you're like, oh shit, like this is this guy. Let's go. So I love like once the entrance is done, I'm just ready to, you know, go to work. It's go to work time. The fun part is like it's time to be a goofball. It's time to be a deal. It's time to look at the people. It's time to, you know, joke around, and then it's time to go to work.
Now, do you make your own entrance music, or do you like?
Well, mine I like mix it together. So what do you call it? It starts off with some Kanye West kind of thing from one of his Jesus albums, and then it goes into this band Greta Van Fleet. That I like. It's a little screaming. I don't even know. They have this like older sound, like the 70s kind of sound, but they're like younger guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So like we're talking about your entrance. Is there anything you do before you go out that curtain?
Oh, geez. It depends. I'm always ripping nicotine. I always got to get my nicotine rips in before I go through the stage. I find a spot and I throw it to somebody. And I kind of just like start pacing around, you know, before it starts going. Start pacing around, start you know, jumping around, get the heart moving. And once the hallelujahs hit, that's when I start like really going crazy. I'm like throwing punches. I'm just being like an idiot. You know what I mean? I'm getting into goofy mode. And once the hallelujahs start going, then I'm like, all right, now you know it's go time. We're about to run through this thing.
Definitely. That's cool. So you were saying like about being a face. Do you prefer to be a face, or are you more of like a heel sometimes?
Well, it depends. I like because like now I'm doing this other character at a couple other places that it's like because I do heel Manbun Jesus and I love heel Manbun Jesus. Manbun Jesus as a dick is my favorite guy. As like not the happy guy, like him being an asshole. That's one of my favorites. So I like heel Manbun Jesus a lot. I also love being babyface MBJ, but I do like. I mean, I like everything I do. That's the thing. But I also do this thing where I've been like face painting my face, and I come out, and that's why I'm the women's champion because I'm attacking the women because a woman beat me for one of our titles a year ago. So then I had to become the women's champion. I had to beat the girls up. So now I paint my face. I wear all black, and that's what I make it a different kind of shindig when I'm fighting the girls like that. But I fight the girls as man bun too. But the thing I say, when I fight the girls as MBJ, MBJ can never beat a girl. Never. If he's a good guy, a bad guy, never. The other guy, Fifth Chris, he always beats the girls. He'll only lose once when he loses the women's belt. And then he'll stop fighting the girls. It'll be over.
So you obviously do the intergender wrestling. Like, do you think that there should be more of that in today's like wrestling world, or like because I know a lot of people feel differently about it?
I love the intergender stuff, and especially like my place in particular. And I don't know, this is not like saying about everywhere. My place in particular, we only have like a few girls who like when they work each other, they're kind of like green, you know. So like they need somebody in because I got decently well at this shit. I feel like from being in there with people who like know what they're doing, people who've been doing this for years and like they're pretty good at what they're doing. They're able to lead you. They're able to teach you when you're in there. And I feel like some of these girls, especially at my place, they don't have it. I don't know if it's like that everywhere else, but they don't have that. So originally I wanted to make the Groovy Grizzly. I was like, I'll put the suit on and like fight the girls as the Grizzly. I feel like that would be funny, you know. And you can have me working with them. And they ended up, they're like, oh, we want you to work with the girls and elevate them and like get them to the spot that they need to be. So doing that, it's been a test as a performer to take people who are like more green and like have only been doing it for a year and like make them look good. And I like that because it's like that's the way you know like you're good at this shit if you make other people look good. If somebody else doesn't look like a schmuck and you look fine, then you did a good job. Especially if they're green, you know what I mean? So like that, I feel like is a good test to me at this point in my career to be able to find out uh, what I can do from inside the ring, being able to tell these people what they have to do, where they have to go. So I feel like it's definitely been helpful. And I enjoy wrestling the girls. The girls are fun to fucking work with. And like I feel like the guys always want to do like I said before, the guys you're always like, oh, you want to do this, or you don't want to do anything. And like I don't want to do anything really. I just want to do a few things. And the guys are like, oh no, come on, let's have WrestleMania. And I'm like, I don't think you know who you're getting in the ring with. I'm a guy who shakes my butt, you know. But like the girls, I'll go out there. I'll be like, all right, I was like, let's not do too much, you know. Let's get you. You'll get some of this, you know. And then I'll fucking get some offense. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, all right, you know, like there's no question, there's no fight about it. We just go out there, we do it, and it's fucking, it's good, it's over, and it's quick, and we don't go over our time, piss people off.
Exactly. So a question we always ask is, Sabrina, who can you see Manbun Jesus facing?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. It's hard because like it's a vibe thing. Facade.
Facade. I was gonna go with Casey Navarro. He's a flyer, so that'll be good.
I mean, we're both thinking flyers, so like that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I have what do you call it? A dream partner for me would probably be. I was going to team with the great EC3, but it fell through. We were supposed to have a tag team title match over here in New York, but that fell through. That would have been a fun one. My little wrestle dad would have been a little tag team partner. Who else? I don't know if you guys ever heard of this guy, Space Cowboy. I love his vibe too. He's very Manbun Jesus in his head. He's like Orlando based. And there's got to be somebody else I can think of off the top. I love the slime balls. You know the slime balls?
I've heard of them. Yes.
The slime balls are kind of new to the scene. All right, these are young little slime kids. I love them, and I teamed with them recently. We teamed on the Outlaw Wrestling stream on what's it called? Rolling Stone Magazine's Twitch. I got to team with them against Sonny Kiss and the Silk City Kings. That was a fun one right there. Love facing Sonny Kiss. That's a big tag team partner / opponent. Love working with Sonny Kiss.
Definitely. So you said like the best part of like coming out and being with the crowd, but what would you say is like your own hardest part about wrestling?
Well, probably before the music hits, you know, like I am very socially anxious person, and like going out, which is funny, right? You like see this guy, and this guy is blah, 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 and inside my head, like I'm just like bugging out all the time, like talking to people and this and that, and like so like going to the show, like when I get to the show, it's usually okay, you know what I mean? But like, you know, I go around and say hello to some people, but then I'm like kind of like staying to myself because like because I have anxiety, so I'm nervous about the match, you know, and I'm nervous about talking to people. And, you know, it just builds up. Now I'm calling the match. Now I'm like, all right, a little anxious. And then the music hits. And I'm still anxious. I'm still freaking out. And once I go through the curtain, it goes away. And it's like every single time. Like I bug out every single time. until it's like I go out there and I see the first fan, and I'm like, okay.
That's
Like they
cool.
hold my hand. It's like a kid when a kid takes your hand, they walk away with you. It's like that's what it's like when I see the first fan. It's like they just take my hand, they walk. I'm like, oh, okay.
Like it's gonna be all right. We'll
It's gonna
hold
be
it
fine.
together.
Harley, I'm just picturing Gavin, like little Gavin, just like outside the curtain. I got you. Let's go.
Take my hand to the ring. You know, it's gonna be okay, man. Bun. Don't freak out. Don't be an anxious Nelly.
I gotta ask, how long did it take to grow the hair?
So I cut it off in what year was it? Like 2015, the winter. And I cut it off specifically because before I was Manbun Jesus, I had this name. I was Johnny Radke. Okay, I was given this name because I couldn't come up with a freaking name. So they said, "What do you like?" I said, "I like Panga Disco. I like Falling Reverse. I like this. I like that." And they were looking up stuff. They're like, "Oh, Radke. You can be Johnny Radke." I said, "Oh, great. That's gonna make me Ronnie Radke's brother." So I went out there, and I am Johnny Radke. Yeah. I met Ronnie Radke, and he told me, cut your man bun off. You look like a doofus. Man buns are done. So I cut my man bun off. So then since, what's the year? Since 2015, this bun has been growing.
Wow.
My beard's been growing since coronavirus.
Wow.
Now I look like a dirty homeless man.
Do you ever like, just go to a show and go, this bun is horrible, but we're going to work with it?
Today is one of those days where I want to cut my hair off. There's numerous days where but the thing is, I could never do it. Like I always want to. I'm always like, oh, this bun. But the bun is who I am right now. The bun has become who I am. And if the bun's gonna go, it's gonna go in like a match. It's gotta be hair versus hair, but it's gotta be like big deal kind of shit. Like somebody important would have to pay me money for me to cut my hair on their program.
Oh yeah. So do you have like a dream match? It could be anyone from AEW, WWE, whoever.
I am a big fan of Bray Wyatt. I feel like a man bun, but like that would be something I would want to do, like with like how John Cena and Bray did that WrestleMania kind of deal, because I love the weird shit that guy comes up with, just weird stuff he can come out of left field, like so, like something like that, a cinematic kind of thing. I feel like would be amazing between an MBJ, a psychedelic king, and this scary Bray Wyatt dude with the face paint neon or whatever he would end up doing. And I love Vincent from like Ring of Honor. Big fan of his shit. Big fan of his work. Would love to work with him. And also Austin Aries is on my list. We'll make that happen one day. And I will rejoice as I have a banger with him as I used to watch him as a child. And it would be that would be like one of the moments. I love facing the people. I mean, like whenever you face a name, it's really like it's either someone from your childhood or someone from TV right now. So when I face somebody from my childhood, I love that shit, especially from the ruthless aggression era, dude. That brings back because that's what I grew up watching. So when I get like that Snitsky match, I was shit my pants because that's ruthless aggression, dude. Grew up with it.
Do you have a dream venue that you would like to wrestle at?
Oh man, like weird ones. Like I want to wrestle out on the beach. I want to wrestle. I want to do like a Woodstock of wrestling. Like it's like wrestling and music on like a field. There's like a Long Island venue kind of like that where it's like it's kind of like it's got the seats and it's like a big field. It's kind of like Bethel Woods itself, like the Woodstock deal, just a little smaller. That's a place I would love to like run like a festival kind of show or something there. And like I said, the beach is awesome. Got to be some other, and then also poolside, like some WCW stuff. Doing something poolside would be awesome. There was a couple summers I was trying to run this thing on 4th of July. I was dating this girl who her uncle is like rich and has like this crazy house. There was crazy 4th of July party, 300 people there, and like 2 summers we were supposed to do a show poolside for that shit with like 300 people in the backyard. But it rained both years, so there went that idea.
Can you imagine, Sabrina, just having a wrestling show on the beach and like there'll be a hardcore match and they just throw sand at each other?
I'm just picturing myself like laying on the beach and then looking over and going, oh, this is happening. Okay.
We'll just be tanning and be like, oh, there's a wrestling show going on. Look at that.
It's everywhere. You know, they always got these random indie shows everywhere you go. I did this thing. We were doing I don't know if it was like a block party, but it was like on a busy street. So I guess it wasn't a block party, but it was like they shut down the street. There were like vendors everywhere. So I don't know what you would call that, but we had the wrestling ring there, and I jumped off the bus stop in that thing. So I was like, oh, there's a bus stop here. I'm climbing that bus stop. Climb to the top of that thing. And I'm flying off that.
Wow.
My first indie show that I ever went to was actually on a baseball field.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
But it was like, it wasn't like a known baseball field. It was like one of those, like, it's tucked behind like some buildings that no one really knows about, and it was like really sketchy going to it. But like the wrestlers were like, I'm gonna climb that and I'm gonna jump off of it. And I'm like, you can do it. I'll stay right here and I'll just watch it.
If you see something you can climb off of and jump off of, a wrestler will find it.
Definitely. So is there a venue that you have wrestled for already that you prefer? Like, you're like, okay, I like this one a lot? Or is it like, I like all?
There's this one place in Brooklyn. I don't remember the exact name. It's a church, though. But that church, we wrestle inside this like gymnasium of the church itself. And that place has the craziest sounds of like when the fans are screaming, bouncing off the walls. So like, you know, like when you're going into your comeback, and like this is one of like the few times I'll get like the goosebumps, like the feeling that the wrestlers like keep chasing. But like they'll fucking do whatever, boom, and I'll slip behind and I'm going into the comeback now, and like the sound of those people bouncing off the walls and everything, just like it's electric. It's like straight Goosebump City. So that place I like doing in Brooklyn. There's another place in Brooklyn that's like it's an outside place, and they do we've done a couple like festivals for beers and shit there. And that place we usually get like thousands of people, just so it's just like there's a sea of people just like going and going and going, like the sea of people as long as you can see. It's like they're coming in, they're all watching, they're going in this building, they're going in that building. And like that, this those two places, the church and the beer festival.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. And I think that's like a cool thing about wrestling. Like all these different venues have like different styles. Like Sabrina goes to RCW and their ring is like lower.
Low.
And like I went to Connecticut and Rhode Island, and the show in Connecticut, like the ring was like literally touching the walls. So it was like you had the space for the fans, but then it was like combined, like confided. Like you couldn't do much in there. And like in Rhode Island, the ring was low, but it was spacious, and the crowd is definitely different. But it was cool.
Yeah, the crowd everywhere. Everywhere you go, the crowd is, you know, like we have New York. I thought was bad. When I went to Pennsylvania, the holy moly, those fans were on another level. They were throwing tampons at me. They had a sign making fun of my man bun. I had to rip that up, but it did make me laugh when I saw that sign. I had to really check myself real quick and not burst out into laughter, because I thought that was the greatest thing ever. But those Pennsylvania fans, holy shit.
Yeah, we different.
On another level. That was awesome.
I mean, I'm not. See, this is why her and I are friends. She's like she'll say things loudly, but like I'll just make really weird noises during the match. Like I'll be like, wheel, 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 wheel. It's so weird. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but like I'm just gonna do it anyways.
Fine.
We're calling the fire ambulance. The fire ambulance. Give them a call.
Exactly.
But the tampon thing, we just were at a show not too long ago that they were like, these guys had bags of tampons and were just like throwing them at this one wrestler. And I'm sitting here going, like, as a woman, I'm sitting here going, like, that's a waste of feminine products, like, just by like throwing them in the ring. But people get very creative. Like I was at a show that someone brought a poster board, and they just like was writing something on it, and then like the next match would come on and they would erase it and then write something else.
Yeah, I really like that.
I've seen that in Maryland. This when I do the CZW shows. There's a guy, he loves his board of switching up deals that he throws up throughout the match, and it's like the same as it'll be like 4 different signs in one match.
Oh, I
think that's where I saw it at CZW. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh yeah, and like with me, like I'm a big poster fan. That's how me and Sabrina became friends. I'm like, girl, you might get hit with a poster, but it's fine. So like I really like that idea of the dry erase board. It works, and you don't have to carry all these poster boards with you every single show.
Just one poster for life, dude. And you're saving the earth a little bit. Save the Earth. It was just Earth Day. Save the Earth.
See, I'm not a poster girl. I'm more of like, I'll buy your shirt and then I won't wear it. I won't wear it to the shows. Like I don't like, because like what if like you're facing someone that like I really like two of my favorite wrestlers. I can't be wearing a Manbun Jesus shirt if you're going against like someone like, Joey Martinez. Like I can't do that.
Can't.
It's not possible.
It's not possible.
Like just cut it in half and like stitch them together. So
I'll need to do that. Like just put like all my wrestling shirts, like a little bit of all of them, like on one shirt, and just be like, that's it, it's done.
I was just going through like all my wrestling shirts from life, like from WWE, from my friends and like all that stuff, and like I probably have like 100 fucking shirts that like I barely wear because they're like old wrestling shirts or something. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with them. Maybe make it like a quilt or some shit.
I feel that. I've been going to wrestling for forever, and I have like so many different shirts of all these wrestlers. I'm like, how am I supposed to wear them all? So like, if there would be a show for the weekend, I'd be like, okay, I'll wear one shirt a day, and then end up not wearing them.
See, that's like the thing. You haven't stopped going to an indie shows where I have. So like I have like a good like from 18 to 26. I didn't go to any shows. But now that I'm getting back into it, now I'm like, all right, now I gotta buy some merch. I gotta like support these people. And now like they're all sitting in my closet
that you don't wear.
Nope. I'll wear them to bed. Like that's all I'll do. I'll wear them to bed.
The merch is also one of my favorite parts of wrestling. I think that when everybody's got like the same shit. Everyone's got like one sticker and like two shirts, right? Like cool. But I love weird shit. Like I got like the stuffed animals, I got the pins, I got stickers obviously and the shirts and all that shit. I got Manbun Jesus candles. We got what else do we got? I feel like I just bought more shit. Trading cards, little churches. There's so much. There's all this stuff. I got my next thing is gonna be a foam hand, throwing up the 5, so the 5th dimension. So we're getting foam fingers in a 5, in a version of a 5 coming soon. Like merchandise is top tier shit.
Honestly, I think that more people need to be creative, like with like their merch, because like you said, I go to all these shows and it's like I see stickers and I see shirts and it's like
and the 8x10s.
And the 8x10s, like it's always like those 3 things, and I'm just like, can we come up with something else, like a beanie, something? Like I don't know.
It costs money to be different. I guess like that's why some people, it's just really is just like the weekend. They're just like hoping if they make it. It's like I got shoot jobs and shit, but like my wrestling is my real that's my main thing. It's like I will quit any job any day of the week for wrestling. Like I will move across the country for wrestling in a heartbeat. So like I put all my money into like when I have money, like this week I got paid right now $0. I spent all that money, new gear, merch, whatever else for wrestling. Like it's just always going, and like just always trying to bring some shit in, trying to keep this brand alive, keep it moving as I can. Whenever I can throw money into the brand, I do.
Definitely. No, yeah.
Where in my life? He's like, he over here, he's like, new gear. I'm sitting here going, when I get paid, I go, new scrubs. Okay, like I like my options.
That's my gear, you know what I mean? My gear is my scrubs. My scrubs are my gear.
And it's options, and you're like, okay, what do I wear today? You never know.
Definitely. So if you were to get a call from AEW and WWE, which one would you take up?
Oh, geez. I mean, whoever's giving me more money, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
would.
It's a hard choice if both of them are giving the call. People say like AEW's got the more of like, freedom of like character or whatever. But at the same time, a lot of these guys are just like it's becoming the same thing of these guys just sitting at catering. I did extra work for SmackDown, and when I went there, nobody was sitting in catering. There was nobody in catering besides the extras. Like everybody who was there was on the show. So I don't know how so if you weren't on the show, you were home. So I don't know how bad that is. So I think I might choose that one. I don't know. It's really whoever's gonna give your boy an option. Whoever's come knocking first, I'm gonna go running.
Definitely.
Go running.
So do you think there's gonna be a time where you're like, okay, I'm done wrestling, or is it gonna be like an age kind of thing?
It's funny. I always tell them there's always, wrestling is funny because you have these moments of like wrestling's really good and you have like good matches and you have a good couple months, and then you'll have a couple months that are slow. It's like, I had an awesome 2020 up until like September. We were supposed to be doing Control Your Narrative tour throughout all the United States. You're supposed to go like a whole big like L throughout like the whole country basically, and that got canceled. And that really like put me in a mindset of like, holy shit, like this was my opportunity. I've been doing this for 6 years, and I finally got like a moment, a chance to like travel and do it and everything. And like now it's not happening, and like, that put me in a very mindset of like, what am I doing? Like, how long am I gonna keep doing this shit for and killing myself like to try to make it? And like I had like a couple months of like, oh man, like this blows, and like just like trying to go out to places and like going to places trying to get booked and like not getting anything. And like those are a few months of like, holy shit, like this sucks, and like I probably should stop doing this. And like I had the thoughts recently of like, oh, I'm gonna stop. But it started like picking up again the last few months, so like I don't think it can stop. That's what it always is. It'll slow down. I'll be like, I gotta stop, and it picks up again. It's like, oh, I can't stop.
Definitely. So do you think like even when you get to that point, like you're old and you can't wrestle, do you think you still want to be a part of wrestling somehow, like whether it's on commentary or being a manager, whatever?
I'd probably still teach it, and I'll give you a little what's it called, secrets. I won't say where it is, I won't say who it's for, but I'm gonna be teaching wrestling somewhere that's not where I live. So I'm gonna be moving soon to be teaching people how to do this crap. So that's a big deal. And once like my time comes, like if there comes a time like I can't really do it anymore, like it comes a time where it's pathetic for me to get back in there, I would probably want to still teach and like run my own shows. Like as I was telling you guys, oh, there's Kitty. As I was telling you guys about like the summer shows I was trying to do like the last few years, like those fell through. But shows for MBJ, a Fifth Dimension Pro Wrestling, if you say, are in the works right now currently to get something going on over here in New York before summer begins. So we will see if that falls through and where we go from there. Maybe that will be my little venture once I'm done in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, like I do like seeing people coming up with their own shows. Like, I mean, there's in here we have Smash Wrestling, and Raj is a wrestler, and he said his thing is he loves to come up with the storylines. So like he'll be like, I just like to see what matches do I want in my head, what matches do the fans want. Okay, like let's make it happen. So I think like it's definitely a creative side that like I think a lot more people should definitely tap into.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. It's like there's a lot of stuff I want to see that like the promoters won't book. It's like, so why not book it myself and like give these people some cool stuff to watch?
Boy, do we know that one, Harley. We know.
Well, every time, that's why I always on here, we're always like, well, this would be a great match. And then it's like, come on, book it already. And then nobody ever books it. So
Listen, I need to go back and like write down some of these matches because like if they ever do happen, I'll be like, okay, like it was definitely from our YouTube channel. So like they need to give us some like credit
We
here.
came up with it.
right?
We manifested this thing in the
Give us some credit. No, that's cool. And you've said about merch. Where can people find this merch?
The merch, I've been looking into putting an actual shop up of all that shit, but right now on the Instagram, I think I have like one of those tabs. You can like scroll through all the merch and shit on there. Shoot your boy a DM, and that's your easiest way to currently order stuff. Besides seeing me at your good old local merch table.
There you go. And so, what are some upcoming shows you'll be at?
Oh goodness gracious! I don't even know the name of the place I'm working this Saturday. I'm in Boston. I do know that I'm traveling with the SAT. We're going to be all on some show in Boston. I don't know the exact name of that one. I do want to pop up the following day to come back to Battlefield Pro and see what's going on there. I see that we got some crazy matches going on the following day. So I think I might show up and show face for that one. And what else do we got? Second Thursday of every single month in the Queens Brewery in Brooklyn, New York, Outlaw Pro Wrestling. All the people there, Bull James, Alpha Jr., Channing Thomas, I think, is booked there all the time. The likes of me, Little Mean Kathleen, all those people have been on all those shows recently. What else do I do? CZW is coming up soon. I think there's I don't know the dates for CZW. I just show up and then they just throw me on the show to get my ass kicked.
So, like, there you go. There's your match. But in the chat, really quick, we have Metal Geek saying hey, and then saying MBJ. And then he goes and says, any plans to extend the fifth curious character? Don't want to say it 3 times. He's Beetlejuice. He may appear.
Yeah, so Fifth Chris is, the character is still evolving as we're doing our thing. It was coming out in that casket that they put me in for the casket match. The casket was like my thing for a while, come out big entrance in the casket. Casket is done. So now we're evolving. I'm going to be getting a manager. Oh my goodness, a manager. So bears are going to be more of like lackeys that I beat up. And the manager is going to be the one. I don't want to spoil that. You're going to want to watch that because it's going to be very Triple H in China. Very Triple H in China.
There you go. And then we have Buddy Thomas saying Manbun Jesus.
My king.
And my dad goes and says, oh my gosh, Harlan's Arena. Here's Buddy Thomas.
Yes.
Oh
beautiful one.
That's such a... No, it's not. We already said that. We had him on our podcast. We were like, we are never gonna call him Beautiful Buddy Thomas. Like that's just not how we're gonna address him. It's just Buddy Thomas. It's fun.
This is my thing. I'm gonna get off Buddy Thomas for a second. So I feel like I'm living in the wrong state because I feel like there's no independent shows on Thursdays in PA.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be more of a thing because then I could be like, okay, I've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all booked to go to wrestling shows.
Yep. You need more, and then you're gonna have another place. You're gonna have to do a Wednesday, and then you're gonna have to do a Tuesday, and then we're gonna have wrestling every freaking day of the week.
Oh my gosh, that would become our new job, Sabrina. We'll be like, that's it. We can't even work at this point. We have a show every single day of our life.
I'll be like, listen, I will gladly quit my job right now, but I need to be getting paid as much as I'm getting paid right now. Like that.
Quite literally.
StreamYard better give you money.
Right? Like, come on.
Especially if we start like manifesting these like matches.
Right?
People can start paying us.
Then they'll pay.
Right? Like, we made that match. Like, thank us for that match. No, like, give us our cut. No, I'm just kidding.
Give us a cut.
So if people want to find you on social media, where can they find you?
You can find me at Manbun Jesus on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm even on TikTok, but that one's at Manbun Jesus 420. And also on the good old YouTube, Johnny Radke TV. That's where all my matches are. And Manbun Jesus TV is full of all promos and kind of like being the elite kind of bullshit that we're just filming and dicking around while we're on the road together.
And so you said earlier that you shake your butt in wrestling. Is that what the TikTok is for?
No, I don't really be doing the TikTok dances. You know what I mean? The TikTok dances are a little too complicated for the likes of me, but that's just little clips, little reels of wrestling and me complaining and joking around, showing off my little wrestling action figures because I'm a big, huge nerd, all that stuff.
No,
he said, nope, those are too complicated for me. I'm sitting here going, I mean, I get it. Maybe.
And the thing is, like, back and forth and front and back is like about all the hip shaking I can do. Maybe in a circle,
like a hula hoop.
Like a hula hoop. But when they got all these other things, they're like throwing up like the hand dances and leg dances and butt dances. This is a little too much for me to get.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for coming on, especially like this early. It was fun. Sabrina's like, she was gonna kill me.
I'll be honest to everybody. I don't care. Before we started rolling, I literally I got on the camera and she's like, "Good morning," and I was like, "No, I haven't even had my coffee yet."
I didn't have my caffeine yet either. I need to get. I'm not a coffee drinker. I love energy drinks, but once this is over, I'm running to 7-Eleven.
What's your favorite energy drink?
Depends. I was a Monster guy in high school. I kind of went away from Monster. I liked Bang and Ghost for a little bit. Still a big fan of Ghost, but I'm back on Monster, original green flavor, whatever the fuck it's called. That is my current everyday drink.
Very
crazy. I just drink Celsius's. Maybe I'm just a basic person, but that's just me.
Well, like I was saying before, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks,
and guys, make sure you're giving Manbun Jesus a follow on everything that he already said. And make sure you're subscribing because we will be back later with the Hawaiian Warrior. Keikoa returns. So have a great
Can you show the belt one more time, actually?
You want to see her up close?
Yeah. Yeah. Now that I'm really looking at it as a person who's going for her nursing, that's definitely
What did I
the
tell you? I told
female.
you I was wrong. I might be a man, but I know what's going on this thing.
Okay. Oh man.
Well, you all enjoy your day. Bye.
Bye, guys.